Good afternoon, members. I'd like to reconvene the meeting of the Environmental Natural Resources Policy and Finance Committee on Tuesday, March 7th. Representative Torkelson, we've got your bill up. We heard from Rebecca, our Commissioner Flood last. I don't know. Yep, I know. I think we got through all of that testimony. So then next we've got Trevor Russell from the Friends of the Mississippi, and Steve Morse already did testify. It's coming back to me now, members. I remember.
It was so long ago.
Yeah. Mr. Russell, welcome to the committee. Thank you for being here. State your name and who you represent for the record, and proceed.
Mr. Chair, Trevor Russell, Friends of the Mississippi River, and I got my 60-second clock is on. We want to just say our appreciation for Representative Torkelson for bringing this bill forward. As you know, Minnesota's Clean Water Council is charged with recommending appropriation of clean water funds to the legislature. We support those recommendations for three reasons. The council has worked really hard with a diverse group of stakeholders from a variety of backgrounds in water resource management to get the best recommendations to you. They've adopted a rigorous slate of guiding principles and funding priorities that they use as a lens to maximize return on those clean water dollars. And the council has made a deliberate effort to make this process more transparent, open, and inclusive for everybody to participate in the process. The legislature has traditionally done well to respect the recommendations of the council, and we hope you'll do so again this year. And then lastly, with regard to CREP that came up earlier, we are working with some hunting, fishing, outdoor recreation groups to try to find a solution on CREP, perhaps through bonding or a general fund that respects the Clean Water Council recommendations and helps us move forward together. Mr. Chair, members, thank you. 59 seconds on the dot, sir.
You nailed it. Questions, members? Any questions for Mr. Russell? Representative Hansen has a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And Mr. Russell, you know, it's interesting, your last comment in the last 50 seconds of you know, moving around money just to respect an advisory commission, that we would have to be moving bonding, we'd have to be looking at all different methods, patching it together to meet, to have adherence when we know that there's been significant deviation from the advisory committee's members. And I think folks on the other side of the aisle this year, I've heard you express some of these same concerns about advisory committees and adherence. So it seems like we do the backflips so that we're respecting the sanctity of a process, which means convoluting an appropriations process to try to get other dollars together. And I'm looking at the letter that Mr. Morse passed out, and it talks about stakeholders, but not much about Minnesotans. You know, not talking about the general issue of Minnesotans, except as the voters, you know, who approved the amendment. And the Clean Water Council, when it testified earlier today, you know, has the list of the members, and they are representing interests. They're not there representing the general public. They are listed specifically as representing interests. And that's different than representing the greater good, so to speak. So I'd like some idea of how those of us who are elected by Minnesotans rather than stakeholders, how we're supposed to balance that thing that we hear with this and many other instances.
Mr. Russell.
Mr. Chair, Representative Hansen, thank you for those comments. I think a couple responses would be this. First, with regard to trying to balance funding for, say, CREP with Clean Water Fund, there's not enough Clean Water Fund money to fully fund CREP and fulfill most of the existing obligations of the state. So it can't all come out of Clean Water Fund. There needs to be some balance. The council did look really long and really hard. You know, they were working monthly, 8-hour meetings plus regular council meetings. It's been a long and lengthy process. Folks put in really long hours, working really hard to try to look at specifically some of these issues, and that one maybe as much as any. Their concerns in part were sort of supplement versus supplanting money. Traditionally, we've funded things like CREP through other funding sources and would like to continue doing that rather than shifting those monies to the Clean Water Fund. With regard to public participation or sort of the stakeholder makeup, in essence, we're all stakeholders in some way or another, but I would argue that the council's makeup is not one that excludes outside individuals or private citizens from also bringing their points of view to bear on the process. I'm not on the Clean Water Council. I've presented to the Clean Water Council many times. Anyone is open and able to write comments in the Clean Water Council's draft recommendations. Those comments are fully vetted by the Clean Water Council and used to help shape the final recommendations. So while the council itself may be made up of 28 legislators, agency representatives, and stakeholders, their process is inclusive, more inclusive of the public than their makeup alone would suggest. While the legislature has deviated somewhat in the past from the Clean Water Council's recommendations, once for the buffer bill, and that was an extenuating circumstance, but largely the legislature has adhered closely, if not entirely, to the Clean Water Council recommendations. Those deviations in the past, I don't think are a sufficient justification for wholesale changes to the Clean Water Council's recommendations moving forward. And then I would just say, this is my understanding, the first stop. This will be addressed more thoroughly in the Legacy Committee, but I would just ask you all to acknowledge how hard the Clean Water Council members have worked. They put in some really long, hard hours. This is a pretty good package, and we'd ask you to respect their recommendations.
Representative Hansen, follow-up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It would be discouraging if we're here the day after adjournment and we didn't have dollars for fully funding the Conservation Reserve Enhancement Program because we wanted to respect the sanctity of an advisory group's process, and then federal money disappears potentially or isn't as readily available after we adjourn than we thought it would be. And I think extenuating circumstances, particularly on CREP, of putting, I think where the governor's recommendation was to maximize what they could for conservation reserve enhancement. Mr. Chair, I think after the amendment passed, for those of us vintage members like Representative Hoppe and myself, that we did have Mark
Forgot
Shepard.
Clark.
And Representative Clark.
Wagenius.
Representative Wagenius was here this morning, but Representative Clark wasn't when we were talking about who was here when the amendment passed. And that after that, in Representative Mary Murphy's committee, Mark Shepard actually went through and listened to all the testimony, transcribed everything. Ms. Taylor's smiling, she remembers that. And so this issue of substitution, supplant, and supplement is actually quite thin in the legislative intent. But since the amendment, there have been a lot of interests that have decided what they believe supplement, supplant, and substitution is. And I'll just say for the record and to be transparent, I think at some point this needs to be resolved by the third branch of government, because otherwise we have this constant, I believe this is what it says, I believe this is what it says. We actually need the courts to decide what it means. And I think that's an important, as we're nearing the halfway point with this, that I think it needs to be tested, because I think otherwise we're shadow boxing around definitions in terms of what people think it means.
Mr. Russell?
Mr. Chair, I'll just respond. My grandpa had a saying that we may not have it all together, but together we can have it all. I think if we work together, we can resolve some of these differences and come to an amicable solution that everyone can support. So, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, and I look forward to working with you to find those solutions. Other questions or comments, members? Representative Hansen? Yep.
Mr. Chair, and I have one more amendment, I think. That was,
Oh, okay, yep, okay, we have the E3.
And Mr. Chair, I would ask that members actually read through the amendment because it kind of highlights the point I was just making with Mr. Russell. That when you look at the members of the current Clean Water Council, they are there to represent specific interests. Representing statewide farm organizations, representing business organizations, representing environmental organizations, representing soil and water conservation districts, representing watershed districts, representing nonprofits, representing county governments, representing city governments, representing township officers, representing tribal governments, representing hunting organizations, representing fishing organizations. And so my amendment makes it a citizens board where you could have people apply who may belong to various interests, but they would be appointed by congressional district, and they would be citizens. It would also would be a smaller number. I think it would provide parity, and it has staggered terms. So I think it's a good option. I'm not going to ask for a roll call, Mr. Chair. I think, I know the number of members are in multiple committees. But I think I think we're in year 8 after this, and Representative Torkelson, I would like you to think about this. I think this is a conversation we should have over the long run, because the Clean Water Council and the model of interest being represented is really a 20th century model, stakeholder model that we're seeing replicated over and over and over again, where a citizens model may be a better option for providing the input.
Representative Torkelson.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll try not to take too much time, but I think it's really important to remember the history of the Clean Water Council and why it was actually formed prior to the passage of the Clean Water Legacy Amendment. Prior to that, and I wasn't here, I'm not the same vintage as you are, or Representative Wagenius, but apparently, from what I've been told by those that were active in the G16 and other groups, that there's great difficulty in reaching any consensus on water issues because we had strong interest groups, which, by the way, are citizens, as far as I can tell, that had very strong opinions about these issues, and it was impossible, or virtually impossible, to reach agreement. So they got a bunch of folks together, these interest groups that I still believe are citizens, to figure out, is there some better way that we can bring these water issues to a format where we can discuss them intelligently, evaluate proposals, and try and move Minnesota forward in the work with clean water. If you don't have those interest groups at the table, they will continue to battle it out in the trenches. And I think we've been reasonably successful bringing these interest groups to the table. Interest groups, after all, represent a group of citizens. I'm a member of a lot of interest groups. Farm Bureau is why I was on the Clean Water Council, but I'm now also a member of Farmers Union. I'm a member of ABATE. They don't have a seat on the Clean Water Council, probably because ABATE doesn't have a lot of clean water issues to deal with. And there, we have lots of interest groups. And this list identifies those interest groups that have the most interest in water issues. In your proposal, you would have the governor appoint the entire council based on congressional districts. I'm guessing the governor may pick the people that reflect his interests. And I don't care who I'm not saying that it's just Governor Dayton. Any governor, whoever the governor was, would pick a council based on those folks that share his interests. And in my mind, that would be a much less productive situation than the one we have today. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Representative Wagenius.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. I think Representative Hansen brings up an issue we do need to discuss, and I just will reflect on a long time ago when the Clean Water Council started. It was to restore waters, divvying up the money, who would get the money to restore. And what was missing then, and is still missing now, is anybody who had an expertise in drinking water or even knew the subject. And so one of the things that has happened to us is that drinking water issues are still on the back burner. We talk about them, but we are not focused on them. And these issues affect Republican districts, maybe even worse than Democrat districts. So I think they're, because the council was set up originally for one thing, and drinking water came in the constitutional amendment, that was different. And it's never gotten the attention of the Clean Water Council that I think is necessary for Minnesotans who really do want clean drinking water.
Representative Torkelson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would just mention that Department of Health is at every meeting, and clean drinking water issues are discussed, but they certainly aren't the only water issues in Minnesota. The challenge, one of the challenges in this work is it's so broad. There are so many issues to cover and so many potential areas where we can spend our time and money and attention. I think it's, Representative Wagenius, I've responded to your desire to have a stronger emphasis on drinking water, and it has changed since its original inception. I realize it hasn't gone as far as you would like, but when you talk about the Mississippi River and its use as a drinking water source, everything we do to help clean up that river is helping to maintain that drinking water source. I think back to when I was on the Lake Pepin TMDL, which we met, I believe, for about 2.5 years. I think we spent over $2 million in the effort. At the end of the day, we got nothing done because it was too broad, it was too big, it was unmanageable. If we would try to do a drinking water protection standard that affected the entire Mississippi River drainage, it would be an exercise, in my mind, in futility.
Representative Hanson. Oh, I'm sorry, Representative Wagenius, follow up.
I don't know whether you want me to.
Speak into the
focus on that or
microphone,
not.
No, I don't, actually.
That is, I think we better find a little more common ground here.
We can talk offline.
I sense a relationship here that could be fairly tight. Another one. Representative Hanson, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and Representative Torkelson. I want to go back to the comment about the stakeholders and working together, which I think that getting stakeholders to work together is good. The challenge that comes in on this and others, I mean, I agree with you. I don't think the Clean Water Fund should pay for all of CREP. I think outdoor heritage should pay part of CREP.
So do I.
I think there should be some bonding that pays part of CREP. I think that the issue comes in with just the testimony we heard from interest groups that I may be normally aligned with, but we hear them from, in other areas from other interests, which is, we've done this, you need to adopt it, and do not deviate from it. And when we're elected by people, we're supposed to be looking out for people rather than those interests. And so and I think that's not dishonoring somebody's work, they can work hard, but what happened in 2015 was you saw a need for additional dollars to go to administrative costs for soil and water districts. And so that adjustment was made. I think what's in front of us today is an opportunity for an adjustment to take advantage of a federal funds opportunity where I believe there will be heavy landowner demand from Minnesotans. that's right there in front of us. And that could be a similar extenuating circumstance to provide the funding. I think on my previous conversation with it was that we see interests that say this is not applicable because it's supplementing or supplanting or substitution. And that only is going to be confirmed when there's an appropriation that then gets challenged. Otherwise, it's just an opinion. Often, I think it was Representative Wagenius and I were the ones that were on the conference committee. I was a non-voting member when this language was worked on. So history is important, particularly when we talk about these things. And we see this model being replicated, not just in our world of environment or in agriculture, but throughout state government, of stakeholder boards or commissions or task forces, that everybody wants to be like this, where the interests can put their stuff together and then just bring it to us and say, adopt it. And I think that's the piece that is concerning. That I think our role is to consider it, but not just say, we're going to adopt it because you worked hard on it. And to look if there are needs that are there where an adjustment needs to be made for a purpose, not change for change's sake, but for an actual purpose, where you could make the changes. And I think that was the amendment we moved earlier today. So I'm under no illusion that the A3 amendment will pass. But I'm hopeful that when members are in other committees and in this committee, they look at how many times now we've created things like this, where folks work on something very hard and then bring it to us and say, adopt it. And that may not be sometimes in the best interest of Minnesotans.
Very briefly.
Representative Torkelson, excuse me.
Well, just as vigorously as I have defended the Clean Water Council's recommendations, I will defend the legislature's right to make adjustments, and I think my track record proves that.
Thank you. Just a couple of real quick points I want to make, and I appreciate the discussion. Quite frankly, Representative Hansen, there may be some valid points in what you're attempting to do here, but I don't want to do it in 16 minutes sitting in committee on an amendment and not let the people be involved in this discussion. I am somewhat confused at some of the things, and we can talk offline, about respecting the process and the people and so forth, but and then remember last spring you sent a letter to Governor Dayton about the LCCMR recommendations and the work that those folks have done. So I'm conflicted by what I hear as two different messages from you, but the fact of the appointments and the recommendations to the council, they are recommendations. And I think that with regards to all of us having 39,582 people back home, plus or minus 1%, I think that we have an obligation to represent them here as well. As I've said many times before, the people that live in Roseau County and Kitson County and Marshall County, they don't come down here. I'm their voice down here. And for the people who serve on these councils and all these different things, whether it's Lessard Sams or LCCMR or the Clean Water Council, there's all kinds of them around the state. For those folks to think that somehow their, quote, recommendations to the legislature are holy, I'll say, and they should not be changed or whatever, I think that that's an unreasonable expectation, especially in the light of emerging issues. It might be AIS, or it might be, some of the things that we're talking about here. CREP, okay? So anyway, with that,
Sure.
yes, Representative Hansen?
Mr. Chair, I think
I've got
we're.
started down a rabbit hole here.
No,
And
I
by
think-
the way, just so the committee knows, the committee legislative assistant has a ticket to the Wild game this evening, so I do not want to have to deal with that, okay? So
And,
if we need to recess to the call of the chair until 11 o'clock after the game is over, I will do that too.
and Mr. Chair, did she bring you that little Easter egg there?
I'm not sure where it showed up from, okay?
I was just going to say, Mr. Chair, I think you and I may actually be agreeing
I,
on this.
maybe.
I think my purpose on this amendment, and obviously this is not anything retroactive, but this would be going forward, and it doesn't do anything on the issue of where we're at. I do think there are times, like CREP, when there is a need for us to step in. And part of that challenge is, you saw that on LCCMR. I see it here on these other boards. I think we have such an opportunity with the Conservation Reserve Enhancement Program. I don't want that to slip away.
thank you. Representative Wagenius.
Just quickly, for members, there is a distinct difference between LCCMR and Clean Water Council. Clean Water Council members do represent organizations. The citizen members of LCCMR don't represent organizations.
Thank you. So with that, all those, you didn't ask for roll call. No, you said that specifically. So all those in favor of the A3 amendment, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign? No. Okay, the motion does not prevail. Thank you. Representative Torkelson, I believe
Chair, I'd
we are
like
to your bill.
Renew my motion that House File 1731 be referred to the Legacy Committee
As amended.
as amended.
Okay, so with that, all those in favor of the, I'm sorry, Representative Hanson, third reading.
And I'm fully informed, but I wanted to make a comment. So, Representative Torkelson, and I think you've referenced it here, that this is going to be a work in progress, right? That you plan on, you expect to see some work done in the Legacy Committee with this and other funds. Is that correct, or?
Representative
Thank you,
Torkelson.
Mr. Chair. Yes, I believe there will be some negotiations. CREP is going to be part of that discussion, I'm sure. I just chosen not to take the recommendations of the interest group in the governor's corner.
And Mr. Chair,
Representative Hanson.
the path, if it goes to Legacy, will it be parked in Legacy, or would it come back here? As it go?
Representative Torkelson, I'm pretty sure it stays in Legacy.
And so, Mr. Chair, so this is the last time for this committee to see it before it gets to the floor. I think, again, it's important. I think we tried to make the changes for taking advantage of the Conservation Reserve Enhancement Program. They're not in there. I think $3 million is not enough out of the Clean Water Fund for CREP, and particularly when we're in a time of great uncertainty at the federal government of whether these funds will be here after this fiscal year. So I would encourage you to be flexible as this moves forward.
Thank you. With that, all those in favor of Representative Torkelson's motion signify by saying aye. Aye. And those opposed?
No.
Okay. Representative Torkelson, you're off to Legacy. Thank you.
I'm off to my own.
Okay. Thank you. All right, Representative Swedzinski. This House File 1368, intention of the chair is to have this laid over for possible inclusion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Welcome.
Members, I
Proceed.
appreciate the opportunity to come before you to talk about House File 1368. It's a pretty straightforward bill. In the 2000s, there was some installation of PVC piping when it came to fuel oil and their fill tap to their tanks within people's homes. In 2008, the legislature set money aside to replace those PVC pipes. and that sunsetted, I believe, in 2013, 2011. Within that sunset, there was mistakenly placed also liability for the petroleum retailers that we simply want to put back into statute. We feel it was erroneously allowed to elapse because obviously if you're selling a product, you have no control over the plumbing inside someone's home. And so this simply puts that back into statute. You still have access to cleanup funds and that if something were to happen, but the petroleum retailers are not. And that's what the bill does. We'd appreciate your support. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I see we have a stakeholder at the table.
I do have a stakeholder here if needed for questions, but otherwise, it's pretty,
Okay.
it's already been in statute, just disappeared. And we'd like
Familiar with the bill. Thank you. Any questions, members? Okay.
Thank you.
With that, I'll renew the motion that House File 1368 be laid over for possible inclusion. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, I wasn't quick on the draw there. Could I just ask a question of the author?
You can just sit right there.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Representative Swedzinski, so this probably relates to a specific situation that you're concerned about, I assume, right? But I have another question. So what if you had an apartment house, a large apartment house that had this kind of a situation? Would they not be eligible then for help from the petroleum tank release cleanup?
I see we've got phone a friend. Mr. Thomas back. Okay. Representative Clark. There's your answer.
Thank you.
Please identify yourself for the record and proceed.
Yes, my name is Kevin Tolman. I work for the members of the Minnesota Petroleum Marketers Association. Nothing in this bill changes how folks would be able to collect funds for remediation from the Petro Fund. So if there is a release or a spill inside any type home, whether it be a townhome, apartment, single dwelling, those folks would be eligible for remediation through the Petro Fund.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So
Representative Clark.
I guess what we're saying is the petroleum tank fund would be eligible, would be a resource for that owner, but the heating oil vendor is not responsible. Is that the distinction?
Yeah, well,
Representative Swedzinski.
thank you, Mr. Chair, Representative Clark. Yeah, the responsibility to upgrade was the owner of the property's responsibility, whether or not it's passed through a different owner in the meantime. As far as an apartment complex, that's issued, the apartment owner would have been responsibility if they happen to be using fuel oil to heat the apartment at the time. And we're just saying, very straightforward, that if that piping fails that is owned by the homeowner or apartment building owner, that the petroleum retailers wouldn't be responsible for that piping that
Okay,
had
thank
broke.
you.
Thank you. Okay, next up. Representative Ecklund, House File 1359. The intention of the chair to lay this over, Representative Ecklund.
Mr. Chair.
Proceed.
Mr. Chair, this is a pretty straightforward bill, and in regards to the person going to the wild game, I'll go as quick as possible. So, actually, it just provides so if a person puts a, if a person has land in the SFIA program, and there's a group that comes forward, whether it's state or private or anybody else, to get a trail access. Are we okay?
Yep, we're good
Okay.
for now. Okay. We're
Trail
just,
access or
we're
easement.
making plans on the run here.
That they can withdraw the easement on, with no penalty to the SFIA program.
Sure. Testifier, Mr. Serpenic, if you want to identify yourself.
Mr. Chairman, Gary Sirkvenik. I represent the Mesaba Trail, and that's exactly what the bill does. It was in the tax bill last year, and so there's been no objection by anyone. It allows a withdrawal for a paved trail from the SFI program. Current law allows for withdrawal for a trail, but not for one with pavement on it. So that's the only reason we need this, Mr. Chairman, members.
Sure. We're huddling right now. Questions, members? Representative Hansen.
Mr. Chair, I need to do my disclosure again of the SFIA land, and I think that this needs to go to taxes,
Yep.
probably.
We just members apologize to accept responsibility for the running of the committee, and we are going to. What I would like to do is to change the motion that I have here for House File 1359 to be re-referred to taxes. We're going to go there, okay? So Representative Hanson, anything else? Okay.
Thank you, Mr.
Representative
Chair.
Ecklund.
And I should probably do the same disclosure that Representative Hanson has. So.
Should probably?
I should,
Okay.
for assuredly.
Yep, okay, so, member questions? All right, very good. So with that, I renew my motion to re-refer House File 1359 to the Committee on Taxes. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? You're off to taxes. Thank you, gentlemen. Next, just stay right there, Representative Ecklund. Now, I am quite sure that this bill we will be laying over for possible inclusion at a later date. House File 1071 is before us. Representative Ecklund, proceed with your testimony, please.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chair. And this bill will allow manufacturers of ATVs for youth models to increase the minimum CC size to 170 CC. And we understand that the DNR does have some issue with this on straddle machines versus side-by-side machines. And we're willing to work with them to try to get that addressed. And I have a testifier here to speak to that.
Very good. Identify yourself for the record. Proceed.
Sure. Mr. Chair and committee members, my name is Elizabeth Emerson. I'm the Director of Government Relations at Gulf Public, here today representing Polaris Industries. And
Great company, by the way.
Excuse me?
It's a great company, by the way.
Thank you. Both Gulf Public and Polaris Industries. Polaris has been working with Representative Ecklund on this bill that we feel is necessary, really just to respond to consumer demands. Our goal is to make the machines that consumers are looking for more capable by increasing their engine sizes for youth and allowing some flexibility that will allow us to continue to deliver innovation to Minnesota consumers. I do want to be clear, however, that in Minnesota, age restrictions are tied to the size of the engine, whereas at the federal level, those age restrictions are really tied to speed, and those federal regulations would supersede any Minnesota law. So despite our innovations and increasing the engine size of these vehicles, speed limits in alignment with federal regulations would continue to exist, and we do not propose changing those.
Thank you. Yep. Mr. Salo, if you put an L on the end of your name, you spell it the same as the little town of Salo. It's about 9 miles east of Roseau.
Is it finished?
I'm not exactly sure what it is, but probably.
We're almost done.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, committee members. I just wanted to go on record, and we do have.
Please identify yourself for the
Oh,
record.
I'm sorry. Lieutenant Colonel Greg Salo, Assistant Director for the Division of Enforcement, Minnesota DNR. And we looked at the language today. We do have some concerns. We're in charge of all the ATV safety certification in the state, run thousands of kids through it. So we look forward to working on the language with Representative Ecklund, and hopefully we can meet somewhere in the middle on this.
Thank you. Members, any questions? Representative Hanson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I don't know if, my concern just looking at this, 12-year-olds can be a variety of sizes, and just on safety here, I know the discussion was on speed, but my concern is on rollovers or something where kids can get hurt. So I'd like maybe a little more just discussion about that on safety.
Is there a question, Representative Hanson?
Do you feel with this change that on the size of the engines, that the subsequent change in the size of the vehicle will not result in greater risk to a youthful rider?
Representative Ecklund.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair, and Representative Hanson, and I think that's part of the ongoing discussion we're going to have with the DNR on this. I believe that Polaris is looking at this smaller Razor model, which is a side-by-side, and that's where they're going to need the additional power to operate that model, and that's where the discussion with us and the DNR is going to have to happen is on a side-by-side versus the straddle machines.
And they are a lot of fun. Director Salo, you have any additional comments, or Ms. Emerson?
Mr. Chair, Representative Hanson, that was our concern too, is larger engine size, more weight, more power, hard to control. So we just want to make sure since 2003, we've reduced our accidents significantly in off-road vehicles, ATVs, and we want to keep that trend going. So we just want to make sure that we're not taking a step backwards in this. And I think we can come up with some language that will allow some of these things to happen. We just want to make sure it's vetted through our safety education program.
Thank you. Representative Heinzman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Representative Hanson's comment reminded me of kind of a quandary that my wife and I found ourselves in, and I really appreciate, first of all, the language and what you're trying to accomplish here, Representative Ecklund. With 6 kids, we have, I don't know, 3, 4 dirt bikes, numerous snowmobiles, lots of ATVs, and I have all the equipment. I got the helmets, I got the pads, I got the chest protectors. We have it all. And we've taken a little bit of criticism for being a motorsports family at times. And my wife and I have, to a certain extent, struggled with the safety issue. A couple of years ago, there was a kid's birthday party, and my 10-year-old daughter was in attendance. She broke her elbow in a bouncy house, Representative. And it's just like, you can only protect kids from so much. You can do everything you possibly can. And there may be a question of safety, and I'm glad that the agency is working with the author. And on one hand, we do everything that we absolutely can, but there's really only so much that you can do.
Thank you. Representative Clark.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was just wondering, either the author or the officer, is there any, training or orientation that's part of, as you go forward, you're talking about some sort of accommodation. Is there any sort of training that you might recommend, for I guess we're talking about 12-year-olds here, is that right?
Director Salo.
Mr. Chair, Representative, there is a ATV safety certification that the DNR Enforcement Division teaches for kids age 11 and up. The certification doesn't become valid till they're 12, but they can take it at 11. And it's bookwork and actual real-life experience on an ATV for the kids. So we run that for ATVs, snowmobiles, watercraft, and firearm safety.
Representative Clark.
So is that part of this bill, Representative Ecklund?
Representative Ecklund.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative Clark. I guess it's implied in this bill, but the kids have to have a certification bill.
Thank you.
Representative Clark.
Thank you, that was my question.
Mr. Bowen, I see you sitting back there. Mr. Bowen,
Thank you.
what did you say?
Members of the
You
committee,
held up one finger, right?
I said 1 minute. Yeah,
Right.
okay. I will take less than a minute. I represent the All Terrain Vehicle Association of Minnesota, and I just want to go on record as saying we would like to be involved in these discussions because we have spent a lot of time over the last 10 years putting together, which I think is a model youth training program, and we just want to be involved in that to make sure it stays the way, in fact, it improves. And as you know, we came in with an amendment the other day to lower our training to 6, because frankly, we have parents and kids that need to be trained at that age because they're out there riding. And we just would like to be involved in this, and I just want to go on record of saying that, so we don't get left out.
Thank you. 43 seconds. Good job. Terrific. Members, the ATV world it's a fun world to be in. I have the privilege to have a few of them in my family, and my grandchildren love riding on them with Grandpa Dan, and Arctic Cat and Polaris do great things building them, and we need to find more ways to get more people involved in the outdoors, and this is a great way to do it. Representative Ecklund, with that, I'll remove or my motion to hold House File 1071, lay it over for possible inclusion as later on, and look forward to working with you on it.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members.
Thank you. Anything else? Benefit of the group? Representative Hanson.
Just, Mr. Chair, I know tomorrow there's a number of committees meeting, and I think the members on our side have bills up in other committees, so it's an overview tomorrow, correct?
Yes,
Or-
we'll be, tomorrow and Thursday, it'll be a budget overview from the Pollution Control Agency. No. Oh, and the land spill on Thursday, too. Okay. They'll probably have to finish up, and then we can do the land spill. Anything else? Is our business finished? Okay, we're adjourned.